Welcome to F105, Rightsizing the Army. In this lesson, we will explore how the Army creates authorization documents, such as the Modified Table of Organization and Equipment, MTOE, and Table of Distribution and Allowances, TDA, through the Total Army Analysis process. By the end of this session, you will understand how force structure decisions are made to balance Army capabilities with available resources. Let's dive into how these essential processes guide Army organization. The ARSTRUC memorandum, prepared by the DA G357 and approved by the Secretary of the Army, documents the Army's force structure decisions. It reflects Army senior leaders' choices on resourcing both operating and generating forces for the Program Objective Memorandum, or POM period. The memorandum ensures that the Army structure is balanced, affordable, and aligned with strategic priorities. This lesson builds upon previous discussions about force management. It ties into earlier lessons on strategic guidance, Army leadership direction, and the resourcing of future force structures. Understanding how MTOEs and TDAs fit into the larger force management model will help you see how the Army ensures the right mix of forces to meet future demands. Through the three phases of total Army analysis, senior leaders and subject matter experts evaluate the best mix of organizations to create a balanced, affordable force that can meet strategic demands. This lesson ties into earlier lessons on strategic guidance, capability analysis, and material acquisition. Understanding how MTOEs and TDAs fit into the larger force management model can help you see how the Army ensures the right mix of forces to support combatant commanders now and in the future. Army force structure is shaped by strategic direction from the National Defense Strategy, National Military Strategy, and National Security Strategy. These strategies drive the Army's planning, ensuring it can align its capabilities with joint and national objectives. The Total Army Analysis process helps match these strategic priorities to resourcing decisions, shaping the Army of the future. Determining authorizations involves aligning the Army's force structure with available resources. The TAA process evaluates the best mix of organizations to create a balanced, affordable force that can meet strategic demands. Army senior leaders assess risk, considering factors like budget constraints and congressionally mandated end strength levels. The Army Structure, or ARSTRUC memorandum, captures these decisions, which may result in significant changes to units across the total Army. TAA also provides the basis from which the Army programs resources and prepares budget estimates. The TAA process involves various stakeholders, including Army senior leaders, the Joint Staff, and combatant commands. Along with many other subject matter experts, these parties all play a role in shaping the Army's future force structure. The Secretary of the Army has final approval authority for TAA, ensuring that all perspectives are considered before making decisions about Army structure. There are other players in TAA at lower levels of the process. The Headquarters G357FM, for example, has organizational integrators who are doing much of the work for each Standard Requirements Code, or SRC. Several factors influence the TAA process, including strategic guidance, Army senior leadership input, legislative decisions, and quantitative analysis. Make no mistake, Congress is a major influencer, and ultimately, Congress decides the organization, size, and purpose of the Army. These elements collectively help shape the Army's force structure to ensure it can meet current and future operational demands. The process ensures that resources are aligned with the capabilities the Army needs. TAA unfolds in three distinct phases: capability demand analysis, resourcing and approval, and force synchronization. In each phase, the Army aligns its requirements with available resources, ensuring that future force structures are both capable and affordable. Basically, the Army determines what it needs, what it can afford, and then how to best synchronize the changes to minimize disruptions and readiness problems. The outcome of this process is the Army's Program Objective Memorandum, or POM, or POM Force to be more accurate, which guides future budgeting. Here's another diagram that provides an overview of the TAA process. This process aligns with the Army's future force structure and strategic requirements through quantitative and qualitative analysis. The Center for Army Analysis, CAA, is a key player in this process, and it works with TRADOC and non-TRADOC force modernization proponents to conduct detailed modeling and simulations. These simulations, such as the Joint Integrated Contingency Model, or JICM, and Force Generation Model, or FORGE, analyze various combat scenarios to predict resource needs like personnel, equipment, and other sustainment requirements. A key aspect of this analysis is the simultaneity stack exercise, where planners evaluate how the Army would respond to multiple adversaries acting simultaneously. The results help identify capability gaps and new organizational requirements as they compete for resources with existing needs. By quantifying these needs, the TAA process ensures that future force structure decisions are both effective and resource informed. TAA is a year-long FY to FY process. This is another depiction of the process and its three phases. Highlighting Phase 3, the final phase of this process, the goal is to synchronize force structure adjustments to ensure they are supportable. One key output of TAA, as we discussed before, is the POM force, which is submitted for approval and informs the Army's budget planning. Another critical product is the ARSTRUC memorandum, which documents force structure decisions, including activations, conversions, and deactivations of units. The goal of this lesson is to help you gain a broad understanding of these processes, but be aware that there are more detailed references that are available. The TAA process has evolved to be more responsive and iterative, helping Army leadership make quicker, more flexible force structure decisions. Senior leaders will continue to play a critical role in providing direction as the process continues to refine. This slide depicts how the TAA is aligned across fiscal years. Each TAA cycle spans multiple years, from capability demand analysis to force synchronization review, FSR, and the execution of command plans. For example, the ARSTRUC for TAA 25-29 was supposed to be released at the start of FY23, but was delayed until February of FY24. This delay created a readiness risk as depicted by the red arrow, meaning the Army had to react quickly to implement major force structure changes. Due to this delay, TAA 26-30 was not conducted, and the next full cycle will begin in FY 2025 with TAA 28-32. The readiness risk in the diagram highlights the importance of timely decisions to ensure adequate planning for manning, equipment, and other resources. Understanding these timelines and their impacts is critical to grasping how the Army manages its future force structure. A change management plan, CMP, is used to propose or modify TDA organizations. There are three categories of CMPs, ranging from internal realignments to requests for new resources. These plans help ensure that the TDA force is properly aligned with current and future mission requirements. The command plan operationalizes the ARSTRUC decisions made during TAA. It outlines how commands will implement changes to the Army's force structure. This process synchronizes the Army's organizational changes with the delivery of resources, minimizing disruption while ensuring readiness. As we look at the total Army analysis process, it's important to see how the force structure decisions flow into documenting organizational authorizations. So the red arrow here shows the connection between the TAA outcomes and the authorization documents. After TAA decisions are finalized, the Army uses the Force Management System, FMS, to produce Headquarters DA approved authorizations which are critical to resourcing the organization's manpower and equipment requirements. The United States Army Force Management Support Agency, USFMSA, plays a key role in documenting these decisions. There are two main types of authorization documents, MTOEs and TDAs. MTOEs modify a table of organization and equipment for deployable forces by applying resourced authorizations, while TDAs cover non-deployable forces where no TO&E exists. These documents ensure that Army units have the necessary personnel and equipment to meet mission requirements. The Force Management System, FMS, documents the Army's approved personnel and equipment requirements for both MTOE and TDA units, ensuring accurate authorization at the grade, MOS, and equipment level. Managed by USFMSA, FMS serves as the authoritative source for organizational requirements, providing detailed data without tracking how units are currently manned or equipped. It interfaces with other systems like the Personnel Management Authorization Document, PMAD, and the Structure and Composition System, SACS, to support resource and force structure decisions. FMS Web allows controlled access to these documents through a web portal. However, FMS is on a glide path to be replaced by the Global Force Information Management Operational Environment, or GFIM-OE, which we will explore in more detail in F106. Understanding how FMS supports the Army's force management process is crucial to ensuring units are properly resourced to meet mission demands. As we talked about earlier, the Army uses two types of authorization documents generally, MTOEs and TDAs. MTOEs define the personnel and equipment needed for deployable forces, while TDAs describe requirements for most of the time non-deployable generating forces. Understanding the differences between these documents is key to managing Army force structure. In addition to MTOEs and TDAs, the Army uses other authorization documents to manage specialized requirements. Examples include exception MTOEs, augmentation TDAs, and joint tables of allowances. These documents provide flexibility for unique organizational needs while maintaining accountability. To recap, the total Army analysis process is central to determining the Army's future force structure. By aligning requirements with resources, TAA ensures that the Army is ready to meet future challenges. The ARSTRUC memorandum, change management plans, and command plans, and other things all contribute to shaping the Army's authorized structure, ensuring that it is capable, balanced, and sustainable. Thank you for your kind attention. This voiceover was intended as an introduction to gain familiarity with the processes described in F105. This is not a substitute for your readings and other class materials. Take care and have a nice day.